Hello everyone, welcome to Heron Apothecary. Today we're going to be making fire water, and it's because it is cold and flu season. If you've never heard of fire water, it is a nice and spicy mixture that you make, and usually I would have already made it by now because it's going to need to sit 2 to 4 weeks. But every ingredient in it is antibacterial, antifungal, antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and antiviral. So as a preventative in the cold and flu season, you'll take 1 shot, and that does mean like a shot glass, once a week. And if you're feeling sick, you can take 1 to 2 tablespoons a day to help get you healthy quicker. As you can see, these are the ingredients. I will also leave the ingredients in the description box, but we have rose hips. I grew those. We've got some lemons, garlic, a whole head, a ginger root, about this much, oregano. I use purple onion because I like the taste of it better. Organic, if you can get it, raw honey and organic apple cider vinegar, rosemary, cayenne, cloves, and then I have grown some little spicy little peppers. But you can Google fire water and you'll come up with a lot of different recipes. Some people will put cabbage in there. Some people use a lot of different types of peppers. I can't really handle that much spice, so I'm sure my husband would love it. But yes, so anyway, I'm going to get this stuff cleaned up and diced up, and then we're going to put it in a nice clean jar. And this jar is going to sit for, like I said, 2 to 4 weeks in a dark place. You're going to shake it once a day, if you can remember, and or once a week, as long as you shake it periodically, just to help it stay churned up in there. At the end of your 2 to 4 weeks, you will strain all of that through coffee filters or a metal strainer, catch the liquid, and then that'll be your shot glass worth of stuff. Like I said, it's literally a shot. So here we go. Hold on. Okay, now that I have everything washed and clean, we are going to add them into our jar. All except for the honey. The honey we will add after we have strained it. You can go to, where's the websites? I'll also link these websites in the description box. Medicalnewstoday.com and verywellhealth.com, natural/natural antibiotics. If you would like to research more about the ingredients that I'm using and why I'm using them. So let's begin. So honey is a natural antibacterial and antifungal, but you should not give children under the age of 1 honey. Something about you could give them botulism, so definitely don't want to do that. We have turmeric. I'm just using the powder kind. It's antibacterial, antifungal, anti-inflammatory. Garlic is antibacterial, antifungal, also an antioxidant. I'm using apple cider vinegar, which is a probiotic. It's also antibacterial and antifungal. We're using cloves, which are here. They are antibacterial, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, and an antioxidant. Ginger root, which is in here with the garlic, is antibacterial, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, and an antioxidant. Thyme, and I didn't have fresh thyme, so I'm not the right season, but I have dried thyme. Oop, I got rosemary. I have to get my thyme out. Same idea. It comes in the same bottle, but it's both antibacterial, antifungal, antioxidant, and an anti-inflammatory. Oregano, I did find some fresh oregano back there. It is both antibacterial, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, antifungal. Onions, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antibacterial. Rose hips, same idea. Nettles and peppers. Now, I do have some nettles, but I'm not adding them in here. I don't like the way they taste, but they're actually really good for you. Rose hips I'm using just because I need to use those. I have several rose bushes outside that I inherited when we bought the house. And every year they produce a lot of rose hips, and I hate just letting things go to waste. So I'm gonna put my onion. I got 1 onion, 1 head of garlic, about 2 inches of ginger. I have 3 lemons. I have these little peppers I grew. They're just little spicy ones, not too crazy hot. I also have some cayenne I'm gonna add. I have probably 2 tablespoons of cloves. I'm gonna put in about 2 tablespoons of turmeric, and I'm gonna cover everything with apple cider vinegar and let that sit 2 to 4 weeks. So now I don't add all of one ingredient at one time. I'll mix it up just so you don't have like all the lemon on the bottom to start out with, or all the rose hip on the bottom to start out with. Rose hips I dried. The cloves, they'll sort themselves out. Sorry if you hear my little dog walking around. She says it's dinner time. And she won't be still till I get on that for her. You do need to have a lid that seals pretty tight, because you are going to be shaking this every day if you can remember it. But definitely at least once a week. And not like a vigorous shake, you know, just to flip it upside down, swirl it around kind of shake. Now the dried stuff I just kind of dump in, because once you put the liquid in there with it, it'll do its thing. Alrighty then. And I'm going to add the rest of the apple cider vinegar I already had. Before adding more. And then you do want raw honey, but like I said, that you do not add right now. We're going to add that after this has set for a couple of weeks. Two to 4 weeks. Now, if you're sick and you need an immediate fire water, you can put all this stuff that I just put in here through your juicer, juice it, and take a shot of it. Pretty nasty, I ain't gonna lie. That's why they call it fire water. But it will help knock out whatever cold you got going on. So you do want to cover it with as much as you can. So that way when you go to shake it, you'll be able to actually mix the things around. Now the first go around, shake it pretty good. Get it all mixed up. Now, I'm gonna put this in a dark, dry place, and 2 to 4 weeks, once a week at least, I'll come and I'll do this. And that's it. If you can remember to do that every day, that'll help it do what it needs to do quicker. But if you don't, at least once a week, and then at the end, you just strain it through a metal strainer or a coffee filter, collect the juice, pour yourself a shot once a week, and you're good to go. Nice preventative. You shouldn't get the cold or flu, and help knock it out if you do. If you have any questions or comments, please leave me a comment. I love to hear from you guys. I will link the websites in the description box. I will also add all of the ingredients in the description box with a more accurate description of how much I actually put in there. It's really, folks, it's up to you and what you like, what you don't like. I have another recipe I can share with apple cider vinegar. It's a drink that you can drink and it actually tastes like apple pie. It's pretty good because apple cider vinegar is also natural, helps your metabolism, helps you lose weight. And for my next video, I think I'm going to do penicillin soup since it is cold and flu season, and that way you'll have a good recipe if someone gets sick, just something besides the fire water. It's actually pretty good. It's called penicillin soup. So hope to see you next time. If you liked, please give me a thumbs up. And if you've been here before and like what I do, feeling generous, please subscribe. You guys have a wonderful day.